Hey, welcome back to another video from Nemesis Gear Steampunked Out, and we are doing wand turning again. And I'm really excited. I finally got my hands on some Purple Heart. My local store has been out of Purple Heart for almost 2 years. I have had little more than scraps in the workshop that I can only do like partial pieces with multiple woods with for more than a year. And I finally found someplace online and ordered from them. I don't like ordering online. I really like to pick out the wood specifically, because you just never know what you're going to get. And indeed, this did come in with some bad spots in it, some warps and twisting, and a bad break in it. But there was still quite a bit of usable wood in this. Unfortunately, the price on Purple Heart has gone up quite a bit as well. But I was really excited to get this in. So I thought I would do a wand video, making a full wand instead of just part of one out of Purple Heart. This particular wood was already a little bit, the age of it was kind of pale in color, and you'll see I do bring that color back out later, and I'll show you how I do that. And it was really dense. It was a lot denser than I remember. I don't know. I mean, I guess every tree is different, but this was a really hard wood, and it also reacted a little bit differently to the heat as well. I did make one wand out of this batch before I did a video just to kind of get a feel for what the wood was going to be like. So, anyways, I did not. A lot of times on these I've been editing out a lot of the shaping process because you're going to see the final wand anyway. But I thought I would leave some of this in. Um, I did edit out a lot of the beginning parts where, I take the wand shaft, the blade of the wand down to the size that I want it to fit in the holsters, because it's just pretty well just a straight stick, and then get that chucked up into my jaws. Uh, but I am this design, just taking off some of the extra meat here, and I've got the shape already moving along quite a bit to where I want it. And yeah, so while you're watching me shape this, if you are enjoying watching these, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It helps me a lot. And also leave your comments too, like what things that you'd like to see me working on, like what I should edit out or speed up a little bit more. I think most of this is at like 400% speed. Um, these can get really time consuming, especially the harder woods like this too. Um, Here I'm using a skew chisel because I want a nice straight line on that. I don't use the skew chisel just a ton. Um, a lot of people with the skew, it's either love it or hate it, and I don't know. I'm kind of odd in the fact that it's okay. I think I would like yeah. I'm gonna look into some different tools. I think I'd like one that was a little bit smaller than the one that I have, but it works pretty well. So yeah, but getting that worked in, getting the shapes kind of defined and finalized the way that I want. Um, Always difficult with a really dense wood because you can't really see it on the video, but there's a lot of vibration in that chatter, and so getting these really smooth, um, is it takes some time. It does help that I'm using the chuck jaws and able to feed the shaft, the blade of the wand up deep into that, so I don't have as much out there to flex. So, but I want a good straight um, piece on this right here, so that's why you can get a nice close up of my hands while I'm sanding there. And then I did edit out a bunch of the sanding. I do take this all the way up to a 320 grit, and then towards the end here, I actually go into some polishing grits as well. So ready to get my lines burned in there, and I am going to do friction burn. I do this on most of the wands. So I'm going to put those in there because one of the reasons is I'm going to be using my ebonizing solution on a couple of parts of this. So we'll finish up with a little bit more sanding, making sure that that's all smooth and nice. And that, again, I try to go with the grain on that to take any cross scratching out. So with that fine grit sandpaper, make sure it's nice, smooth. I want a good, super smooth, clean polish on that for the oil and wax. And now I'm just going to wipe this down with some denatured alcohol, clean off the dust. Kind of get an idea of what I'm working with here. But you can see that it really doesn't look that purple. It's kind of bordering on a reddish brown. And I think you'll be surprised at how to bring that color back out. I'm going to take the tenon off the end here, and you can see it's actually really pretty straight here. And I want you to kind of notice this. There's not a lot of wobble. That means the wood is nice and straight. I don't have any warping or anything. Nothing was off center, which was really good considering the chatter I had there. Now what I'm going to do, now that I've got this broken down, I'll get it all wiped off. But we're going to try to bring some of that color back. First I want to put this ebonizing solution. And I'm just doing this on the two round beads here because I'm going to darken those to a black. And then I'm going to use heat to bring that back out. And a lot of people use a torch on this. And I did use a torch on the wand I made before this. And I realized that this particular batch of wood, it goes from being this kind of pale brown to almost black very quickly. And I found with the heat gun, it takes a lot longer, but because of that, I'm able to control that darkening a little bit better. And you can see how the heat is just bringing that color back into that purple. And this is, like I said, it's a very dark purple. And of course, the two areas where I ebonized it, you can see are the ebonizing solution darkens that anyways. So, but because it's so dark, I also thought, there's a lot of color difference between the wood in the state that it was in and what I'm doing with the heat. So I decided to kind of do a little bit of a fade effect on the blade of the wand here. So I don't take the purple all the way up. I did the tip, but I left a little bit in the middle, the original color. And you can see how warm that is. I'm putting a little bit more ebonizing solution on the two beads there, and you can see that wood just evaporates it off. And I don't know if you can notice it, but you can see it kind of has more of a wobble now. And I was saying earlier how nice and straight that is. That's one of the other downsides of using heat. When you use heat on the wood, whether it's a torch or heat gun or whatever, you can cause the wand to warp a little. So that's something that you want to be aware of if you're doing your own wand making there. And it's not bad. And as this cooled down, it did straighten up quite a bit, but sometimes it does not. So I'm using my polishing pads here. I think I got this one all the way up to 600 or 800 grit. So it's very, very smooth. And then wiping it down again a little bit with a little denatured alcohol. So yeah, I go and I shaped up that shaft. I got a nice taper on it. And as you can see the tip there, I did go ahead and darken that as well, but I left part of the blade in the middle there. It's a more pale color. And now that we've got that all done, we're going to get a good camera angle so you can see all of it. And I am going to get the oil on this so that you can see what that looks like. And it really just really revitalizes the color there. And just because I've got the heat gun up there and it's a cold day, I'm kind of just lightly warming up that oil so that I get that boiled linseed oil so that it just absorbs into the wood a little bit easier. A lot of times I'll just do that with friction, but that was nice and fast. Sometimes I'll even heat up the oil ahead of time on a little warming pad so that the oil's nice and warm. But anyways, yeah, I really like this one. It turned out really nice. Very, very smooth. And when I get wax on this, I'll show you here in this preview coming up. The wax polish on this is just really, really smooth and clean in the hand. So anyways, really enjoyed doing this. I do have another Purple Heart wand video coming up shortly. that I'm going to try to get up for y'all soon. I am on my way to NorwestCon next week. So if you want to see the wands in person along with a ton of leather products that I also make sure you come on out to SeaTac and check it out. If you can't make it, then keep an eye out for that next video. I'll try to get it edited and posted up when I get back. But I hope you're enjoying these. And again, thanks for watching.